Alright everybody, I'm back with another bridge tutorial here, just talking about a couple of things that I've had discussions with individual members about lately, but I wanted to make sure everyone knew as well, especially as we're heading into those phase 2 programs. So as we've learned more about bridge, we've tried to implement more into your programs, different ways to track, different things that we found out, and I think a lot of them are super cool, and just different ways to do that. So first and foremost, adding in weight, right? So the weight that we use for each exercise, or if we had to adjust the reps for any reason, you actually have the ability to change that. So if you, again, start a workout, I'm gonna use yesterday's workout because my workout today did not have reps to finish. So there we go. All right. So again, I just clicked through the screens. This isn't an actual workout, so I didn't really care what any of that said. So the ramp isn't a great display of this. There's not really much weight used in my ramp right now. So I'm going to scroll on over to my snatches. So right here, I have 20 kilos, and then there's 16 reps. This is the second time filming this, because when we get to the second section of this, I wanted to go back and add a picture so you could see it. So we're going round 2. So right here, I have 20 kilos. This is supposed to be 20 reps each set for my snatches, right? So say I wanted to switch this back to 16 kilos. So 20 kilos is the black kettlebell. Say, feeling I need to go a little bit lighter today. So I'm going to switch. If you just tap that number, it'll highlight itself and you can change it. So 16. Again, that's the yellow kettlebell. If you wanted to go in pounds, you're more than welcome to put that in pounds as well. I would just round it. Obviously, it did the conversion on my own. Yellow kettlebell is 35 pounds. And say I wanted to apply that to all the sets. I'm going to change all mine to be lighter, right? So you can change that. As you can see here, you can also change the reps. So if you have, this specifically applies to our TSC people right now, right? But if you have different reps for each set, or if you had to adjust, say you had a rep range and you had like 6 to 10 reps, maybe you did 8 on the first one. Whoa, not 208. Maybe you did 8 on the first one, and then it got heavy, so you did 6 on your second one, right? Highly doubtful that you're going to have 13 sets like I do here. But again, changing those reps allows you to see. And if there is a rep range, that'll likely be noted up. You can kind of see the 2 here. That just tells me my rest and what I'm doing for my kettlebell snatch. But for you, if you have an upper body exercise, specifically pressing or pulling, you might see a rep range. So it'll say 8 to 10 or 6 to 8 or somewhere in there. So you can actually change each set and say, hey, I used 6. So we can see then on the back end, hey, so-and-so used 8, 8, and 6, right? That gives you a good indication of when you're able to move up in weight, what weight to use, etc., right? So again, if you had to change this, say you had to go back, right? You can just scroll back and forth and adjust the sets, adjust the reps from there. Once you hit submit on your workout, you cannot go back and change. So say I did this and I hit submit, it's locked in. You can't go back then and adjust any of your weights. So just be sure that you're really looking at it and noting it. If there is an issue, just note it in the comments. You can go back and add a comment at any time. So just say, hey, I hit submit too early, missed tracking this. And we'll be able to kind of sort it out on our end so that we can see it. We have the ability to go in and change some stuff that you might not have the ability to do. So with all this discussion in weights and reps, it kind of brings up another discussion I was having with weight selection. So with this weight, now that I've discovered that you guys can actually edit it, and it doesn't have to be from a coach's side, I've tried to go in and add 0 pounds, basically, to every exercise that might be weighted, okay? So if it's body weight, obviously it's going to stay at 0 pounds. If it's an exercise like resistance band assisted flex arm hang or resistance band bent over row or something like that, right? You might not be able to bring that down into a numerical value. It doesn't really fit. Obviously this has to be a number. I can't just go ahead and type yellow kettlebell in here. But you can always note that in the comments as well. So just leave a comment on that exercise specifically, and we should be able to know. So for example, I'm going to tap here, and then I would just use this plus button in the bottom and just leave a comment with the little chat option. So I would just say here, and I would maybe type like yellow. Again, for this one, I can bring a numerical value, and then I would just click post, but just say yellow. And on our end, it then shows on that set, right, that you use the yellow kettlebell. And as you go back, you can see all past comments on that exercise as well. So that's how we would add it in if it wasn't a numerical value. So now, again, backtracking, weight selection, how to select weight. When we're in the gym, we can see you, right, all the time, every set that you do, if not most of them, if we don't catch every single one. But it gives us a good idea of when to progress you in weight and when to add more weight, when we maybe shouldn't add weight, we should focus on form and things like that. So there's a couple options you can do here. If you go to the little plus sign again, you can add a video. So if you add a video to the exercise, we'll be able to see you. So if you have a family member or someone who is with you at the time, or if you just prop up your phone, you're able to take a video or upload a video of yourself doing the exercise, and then just leave a comment and say, hey, I wasn't sure on the form, or I wasn't sure on the weight I was using, like, is it okay to go up, you know, whatever. We can coach on that, right? That is a very good cue. If you are self-selecting weight, so like I said, I added 0 pounds in for everyone, just because regardless of the weight that you have, I want you guys to be able to self-regulate your weight, right? So this is where we can use rate of perceived exertion to dictate that weight. So if I bring up the scale, this may look, I'm going to zoom in on my strength side here, because our cardio side is important, but the strength side is important for what we're doing right now. This scale hangs between the bathrooms at Unity. This is exactly as it is written, right? Between the bathrooms. So if we look at this for our purposes of our workout, we want to choose weights that are somewhere between that 7 to 8, right, RPE. So that's up in kind of this general area here, and I can't really draw it on the screen, but that's up in that orange, yellow-orange area, right? The RTF stands for reps to failure. So we always want to have at least 2 to 3 reps in the tank. So if you can think of it out of 10, right? If we're an 8 out of 10, that's going to be 2 reps left in the tank, because there's 2 numbers to get to 10, right? So that's an easy way to think of it. This also gives you an idea of where you should be throughout your workout. So that ramp, right? You should be able to do ramp forever. That's why we say you can ramp literally every day if you want to, and you should probably ramp more days than not, right? And then those warm-up sets, if you have anything super heavy or that is very high maximum effort, again, like my snatches, right, in the first screen we just looked at, are a perfect example of that. They're a really tough exercise for me. I usually take a couple warm-up sets, especially if I'm going to do them with the black kettlebell. I would then do a couple with the yellow kettlebell first, right? So we can use RPE to kind of gauge where we are and when we should go up in weight. The form questions then come on the coaching side, and that's where I would say, hey, let's sign up for a coaching session. We have a couple of those per week, 3 or 4 of those per week, right? Let's sign up for one of those. Get our coach's eyes on you. If you truly can't make those, submitting a video is a great way to do it via the comments in the Bridge app, or again, separately as well. Totally up to you which one you do on that end as well, right? So getting coaching eyes on the form thing is awesome. Great way to do that. But using this RPE scale can really help you choose your weight. So I'll zoom back out in case you guys want to see all of it for the remainder of the video. I just zoomed in the strength side, but the same goes for cardio side as well. So like if you're doing a metabolic workout there, you're gonna want to be higher in those working intervals. You're gonna want to be up in that 8, 9 out of 10 range, similar to how we worked to this similar scale in one of our lean classes recently, right? Jordan's lean, everybody's favorite, the giant circuit one. So there's our RPE scale and a little bit how we can use that RPE scale to dictate the weight. If you don't have a weight, like a 0 pound weight next to an exercise that probably should have it, leave a comment. I've really tried to go through and add them where I've found them, but I'm definitely missed a couple, right? So if you're one of those people, just leave a comment. You can always comment your weights as well. You don't have to track them like that, but it does give you the option to do that as well. So hopefully this answers some questions on tracking weight, kind of using the RPE scale, and everything like that. So I'll let you guys go, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.